July 25th, 2000. Paris, Charles de Gaulle Airport. The summer sky was clear. Conditions looked perfect. Air France, Flight 4590 was a charter service, not a regular scheduled flight. On board were 96 passengers, mostly German tourists, along with 9 crew members. Their destination, New York, JFK. From there, they planned to board a luxury cruise ship through the Caribbean.
Thank you for waiting, ladies and gentlemen. We've invited first class. Now we're inviting...
Their aircraft was the Concorde, a supersonic jet capable of Mach 2, twice the speed of sound. Paris to New York in just 3.5 hours. A single ticket cost around $12,000. The aircraft, registration FBTSC, was 25 years old, but still considered airworthy, still considered safe. Captain Christian Marty was in command, 54 years old, over 13,000 flight hours, a highly respected pilot. He had flown the Concorde many times before. Everything looked routine. It was not. At 4:42 p.m. local time, Flight 4590 was cleared for takeoff on runway 26 right. Captain Marty pushed the throttles forward. 4 Rolls-Royce engines roared. The Concorde began its takeoff roll. What the crew didn't know, minutes earlier, a Continental Airlines DC-10 had dropped a small titanium strip on that same runway, 17 inches long, paper thin, just sitting there, waiting. At 188 knots, the tire didn't puncture. It exploded. A 4-kilogram chunk of rubber launched upward at massive force and struck the underside of the left wing. The fuel tank ruptured from the inside. Hundreds of liters of jet fuel began pouring out, directly near the engines. Within 4 seconds, the fuel ignited. A wall of fire erupted under the left wing. Tower called immediately. "A TC. Flight 4590, you have flames behind you." The aircraft had already passed V1. The point of no return. Stopping was no longer possible. They had to fly. With 2 engines failing, with fire under the wing, with a stuck landing gear, they lifted off, reaching a maximum height of just 200 feet. The last words on the cockpit voice recorder. Captain Marty, "Too late." At 4:43 p.m., just 88 seconds after the tire blowout, Flight 4590 struck the ground in Gonesse, France. This wasn't one mistake. It was a chain of failures. Remove any single link, and 113 people might have gone home. Link 1, the metal strip. A Continental Airlines DC-10 dropped a titanium wear strip on the runway. It was never detected. Runway inspection missed it completely. Link 2, the tires. The Concorde had experienced at least 57 tire incidents over 27 years. The tires were not reinforced against high-speed debris impact. This was a known weakness, never fully addressed. Link 3, the fuel tanks. The Concorde's tanks sat inside the thin delta wings. No Kevlar lining, no self-sealing protection, no explosion suppression system. When the rubber struck the wing, the shockwave ruptured the tank from inside. Fuel poured out instantly. Link 4, the aircraft was overweight, approximately 1 ton over its maximum takeoff limit. Baggage had not been loaded correctly. An overweight aircraft needs more speed, more runway, more power, and has far less margin for any failure. Link 5, a missing landing gear spacer. During pre-flight maintenance, a spacer was removed and never replaced. This caused the aircraft to drift left, directly over the titanium strip. 5 separate failures, all happening on the same afternoon, on the same aircraft, on the same runway. That is how disasters are built, not by one catastrophic mistake, but by many small ones that nobody caught in time. France's Bureau of Inquiry and Analysis, the BEA, led one of the most complex investigations in aviation history. Their final report, published in 2002, was clear. The titanium strip caused the tire blowout. The tire blowout caused the fuel tank rupture. The rupture caused the fire. The fire caused engine failure. Engine failure caused loss of control. 1 strip. 5 consequences. 113 lives. In 2010, a French court found Continental Airlines guilty of involuntary manslaughter, fined €200,000, ordered to pay Air France €1 million, but in 2012, an appeals court overturned that conviction. Many families never accepted that ruling. But something important did come from this tragedy. The Concorde was modified before returning to service. Kevlar liners were installed inside the fuel tanks. Burst-resistant Michelin tires replaced the old ones. Electrical wiring near the landing gear was reinforced. Airports worldwide introduced automated FOD detection systems, cameras and radar that scan runways in real time, detecting objects as small as a single bolt. Runway inspection rules became stricter globally. Fuel tank safety standards were reviewed for all commercial aircraft, not just the Concorde. The Concorde returned to service in November 2001, but the world had changed. Passenger numbers dropped, operating costs rose. On October 24, 2003, the last Concorde landed at London Heathrow. 27 years of supersonic passenger travel. Over. The sky got slower that day, and it hasn't sped up since. In memory of all 113 lives lost, July 25, 2000, they deserve to come home. In memory of the 113 victims of Air France, Flight 4590, July 25, 2000. Every crash has a lesson. Every lesson can save lives. Subscribe to Aviation Accident History and never stop asking why.